Okay, this is year 10 and we're in unit 6, and this is the start then to a bit of Pythagoras theorem. I nearly think this A, B and C here is a little bit unhelpful. We're just going to look at the sides rather than the corners, and we need to label our sides in A, B and C, so we're going to ignore these just for the minute. C always has to be the longest side, so we're going to label that one C, and the other two then are going to be A and B. Pythagoras theorem, I'm just going to write it the other way around this time. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals 4 squared, which is going to be 16, and 7 squared, which is going to be 49. So C squared 16 plus 49 gives me 65. C, then if we want to work it out, is going to be the square root of 65. Let's put this into our calculator and see what we end up with. The square root of 65 equals 8.06. We'll go to 3 significant figures for this, so it's 8.06 centimeters. On to our next example then. Again, similarly, I'm going to ignore the A, the B and the C here, and we're going to label our side. C always has to be the longest side, and we're lowercase in this point here. I'll call this one A, and I'm going to call this one B. It just tends to confuse. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals 12 squared plus 19 squared. C squared is 144 plus 361. I'm sure smart people like yourselves wouldn't need the calculator for this, but I'm going to use it. 144 plus 361 equals 505. And then C is going to be the square root of 505. Which gives us 22.5. Again, the 3 significant figures. Were we in centimeters? We were. And so we have that. Next example then is finding one of the shorter sides. So you don't always have the longest side to find, but sometimes you have to find one of the shorter sides here. So as ever, you label your sides. This one has to be C. The other two don't matter, A and B, and we can see the one we're trying to work out then is B. So we're going to have then A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Notice I've turned it around, it doesn't matter, you can still have C squared equals A squared plus B squared, but it's just going to be a bit easier to work out. 12 squared is our A, so sorry, A is 12, so 12 squared is 144 plus B squared equals 19 squared, then it's going to be 361. And for this one then we're going to have to subtract this from this. If you take away 144 from both sides, you're going to get B squared equals 361, take away 144, 361, take away 144 equals 217, and B then is going to be the square root of 217, and that gives us then 14.7, and again we're in centimeters. Hopefully you can see that just over there to the side. Hopefully that makes sense. Notice there that the 14.7, a lot of people make mistakes here. This one always needs to be the biggest one. Make sure your answer isn't bigger than 19, otherwise you've definitely made a mistake somewhere. Let's look at our last example then. So we have 12 and 8. Label our sides. C, A and B. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared plus 8 squared is 64, and that equals 12 squared, then is 144. A squared equals 144, take away 64. A squared then is going to be, if you do 144 take away 64, you're going to get 80. So A then is the square root of 80. that gives us 8.94. And again, that's in centimetres.